So, welcome back, guys, and welcome to the grand finals of the EMS1 Battlefield Cup #1. We are ready to get underway, but let's quickly have a little look at the brackets, how these two teams got to this position. So, it will be Meteor Makers coming from the top side of the bracket, taking out Team Dignitas, taking out Against All Authority. They had a hard route through, but they certainly deserve their position in it, and Fnatic as well.
And, well, I just want to point out that one thing is that Meteor Makers beat 3 of the core teams here in the EMS series, which is definitely no easy feat. But Fnatic, just like you're saying, beat Gamers Connection pretty flawlessly, I have to say. Beat Epsilon 2-1. And then, of course, Team A-Crux. I haven't really heard too much about them, but hopefully we keep seeing them around in the future.
Yeah, most certainly. So these two teams looking extraordinarily good through this and certainly deserving of their position, and I am really looking forward to this. So guys, out in chat, do make sure you let us know who you think is going to win this one. The first map will be Storm. It's going to be domination as per usual, and I think we're ready to get underway. So guys, let's jump into game and see who will be who. I think Jason has messed up terribly.
That is not even close.
Jason has fluffed it up so badly.
I don't know if it's me. It's probably me.
It might be the resolution.
It might be the resolution.
But anyway, let's carry on.
Let's just keep it like that.
You can kind of get the idea. So it'll be MYM, actually on the other side as well. So we might need to change that. Yeah.
But,
all right, guys, we're going to carry on. MYM currently at a 2-1 advantage. Would you like to switch that out
I
right
would
now?
like to actually just drop it. So I'm going to switch back to us real quick because...
We'll be back in game in a moment.
They trolled me. They were actually on the other side as the game started.
Scumbags.
So
what can you do?
Let's turn that off.
So you get to see us doing work pretty much. Here you go.
There we go.
It's behind the scenes with Jason.
That was pretty crappy.
But don't worry, we are back in this one, and at present, it was a 2-1 solid hold for MYM at the start. A now being contested by Fnatic, who will be on the US side, and this is looking pretty damn good to be starting with. Already a good couple of players doing the damage they need to. Waffy was considering the other side there, but focusing back towards what they need to be doing, because Too Easy is in a great little position, getting those spots out, getting those calls going, and keeping the advantage, but they need to work on that C site now.
And we do see that Meteor Makers have been able to take over C, but B's being contested as we just hear Wing Haven going down here, and Punch sitting up inside these buildings, trying to set up for something here, trying to get the kills in that they need. And we've seen, and the few times we've actually seen this map played, I believe it's only once if I'm not mistaken, whoever controls the buildings typically controls how the game's gonna go. Punch actually just waiting inside the building, takes down Valor right there. So that gives them a nice little bit of advantage here. They still maintain B and C currently. And you see Meteor Makers, they're all set up inside these buildings. Fnatic, they're having a hard time getting anywhere right now.
Yeah, and that Storm now coming in, it's gonna be rough times for both teams. Fnatic need to find their footing here because those points are getting a little bit low. Big advantage to MYM starting to form. They need to focus on one side they feel comfortable with. And let's see what they're gonna go for. Too Easy once again being their own player. I think they're gonna be hitting up that B side pretty soon. The call has been made. They're gonna leave C to the MYM team and try and focus down towards that center of the map. Too Easy not getting the shot off, and well, Waffy is certainly making it count, but can he find any more? Mord's gone down, and Too Easy just not finding a way through. These guys are not having an easy time here.
They're really not. They're getting kind of outgunned right now, but currently C was being contested by Fnatic. But it looks like Ducky Chen has been able to hold on to that one. Now B being contested as we see Unfix has made his way into here, but if he does even cap it over, I'm not sure how long it's really going to stick because he has so many people surrounding him. You see him spotting one, but gets taken down immediately. B looks like it will be going back over to Meteor Makers, but Wing Haven, he has something to say about it.
Well, hopefully the nades are coming out. He's going to spam them through, try and remove some of the clutter away from that point. Nothing really working so far. They're still trying out the site, but Too Easy's being absolutely drilled down. The revive should come in from Wing Haven so they can at least kind of make this attack together. That 2-2 split. Some of the players, leaving C alone. Once again, A and B being the focus, but S8F was the only player to fall really for MYM, and this is meaning real trouble for Fnatic, who are once again locked out. Too Easy does the damage on the punch, and that has opened up B to a small extent, but can they finally get in here and actually get this point in their control?
Looks like they finally will be able to hear it, but for the whole point of this is how long can they actually do it? Ooh, Unfix, though, sitting in the back of A, does get some respawns on top of him, and it looks like they want to go for a fight here. Flax pushed up inside, trying to spot where someone is, trying to take this point over. They've been able to control it, but for how long? Mort actually gets spotted in the backside. He goes down, and with that, they know Unfix is there as well. He drops, and just like that, Meteor Makers maintaining that 2-point hold.
Gotta say it though, MYM playing real smart. They've been using C as their anchor point almost. They've always had a player at least present until Too Easy started to push it. He got the opening kill, so that's a good choice. And they've always had that as their fallback side. Then they can focus on either B or A depending on where the opposition were going. So they were in the control in this instant. And now they're getting the kills to back it up. But but Too Easy is getting that cap underway. B in the hands of Fnatic. They're going to try and spin the situation on their head. So, you know, only NYM have that A side, but, you know, we know that NYM can use anything as an anchor here. They're going to go for the reclaim on B, and it might just pay off. Punch is right in on the side. The flag is just being halted now. Value lays down some fire from afar, but it's fire from everywhere, and they could not secure that B side.
It does get neutralized, though, and that means Fnatic is going to have to actually send one man there to cap it over, but S8F, he's trying to come over here to stop this. He's going to be pushing in, but he's not able to get the kill just yet. As we see, I can't even click correctly. I think it was Winghaven that was there that actually picked up the kill, but now Flax in a higher position inside these buildings. Even with his teammate going down, gonna get a shot at Too Easy, and that was a fantastic shot of him, considering he was fired on first. And he's just trying to pick up the kills, just trying to rack them up. Currently sitting at 8 or 10 and 5.
Yeah, numbers are hard, Jason. Numbers are hard, but we are seeing finally a little bit of life from Fnatic. They are contesting on all points. A was theirs, C wasn't, but B will be fully converted for the NYM side. They're going to lock that one down first, but this should be a carryover as Value has claimed C, but A will fall into the hands of NYM. This spells trouble. Fnatic need to start focusing out this B side. They've not been able to hold it down once for a long extended period, and once again, NYM in control. They're loving the way those tickets are starting to bleed down. You know, Fnatic are down to the 75. Now that is looking dangerous. They're below that 100 comfortable marker, and they're just not getting the penetration on that B side. They're not being able to hold it, and we're seeing NYM just exerting dominance.
And just so you guys know, this is the map that Meechmakers chose for this best of 3. Operation Locker is coming up after this as Fnatic's choice, and the decider will be on Zavlid. So both these teams getting a map that they're very comfortable on, and Meechmakers are really showing it here with that 112 to 68 ticket lead. We do see finally Fnatic though have finally managed to take 2 points here, but Dunkey-chan, he's going up to C here, and he only has one man to fight. Actually, not even anymore. He did get taken down.
Yeah, instant conversions going out from NYM. They're not just holding back. As soon as they see one side is weak and they're going to lose it, example A, they've gone back to their safety zone, C and B, and they're good at holding this. They've already set up on that B site. Fantastic play, and they should be able to funnel down Fnatic unless they can pull out something impressive. Too Easy doing the work. Value looking to alleviate some of the pressure, but still, it's NYM in the driving seat, and they're holding down because now I think Fnatic are working out B is not our strong point. Let's focus on C, let's focus on A, and try and lead them to that central position.
And they have such a great hold as well out of Meechmakers. I mean, we saw S8F just on Dawnbreaker earlier on today, and with that Scar, he had a ridiculous KDA in that game. I can't even remember what it was, but at one point it was like 18 and 4. And he's making it work definitely for his team in this game. He's definitely been a nice threat, but you can see A's being contested over for Meechmakers. They're going to cap that one back. C was being contested, but Winghaven and Valor were able to pick up the kill. But still, you see with these spawns coming in, they have a long way to run. And when you have people in the buildings to stop you, you're not going to run far.
Yeah, and considering this is the first half, you know, Fnatic are adapting quickly. They've got, you know, NYM below that 100 marker, and they're enjoying that, but still, it's a 2-to-1 hold. And Fnatic are struggling this time. They are not in their comfort zone. Punch knows what's waiting just around that corner. He's seen his teammate go down, but Unfix still fighting damage to be done. He's got to back away, but terrible timing from him. As soon as he got that mid pack out, he was going to be taken down, and now just Flax left alive. They could quad cap here if Fnatic got themselves together. They could really go for the triple cap, excuse me.
Let's say, so a flag
there's a secret flag. But no, it's, you know, it's right near the Megalodon. But still, Unfix has got himself on that B point. Maybe they can convert this, but even when they had only one man down, one man standing for NYM, Fnatic weren't able to convert that into a flag.
All right, now Unfix, who's trying to get for B right here, but he actually just gets stopped by Wafi right there. Wafi does get picked up, not sure exactly who by who. I can't even words, but they do get B back. They do lose C in the process, but Winghaven's there. He's going to be able to recap it back for his team. They're finally going to get a 2-flag advantage. But for how long? We're spawning in between C and A, and we actually might have a 3-cap come in as Too Easy's already capping A over, but we have 2 people Meechmakers here to stop it.
Yeah, and they need to because, well, we know Fnatic like playing from that baseline when they get really pushed where they can turn out, but a triple cap is really going to be hard work for them to fight out.
Numbers are hard.
Yeah, NYM, though, they know they're strong at this. They can go for that B side, and they're very good at taking it. They're not as, you know, lackadaisious Fnatic where they can really work this one out, but still, Fnatic can enjoy those tickets ticking away from the NYM team, and they need to do this. They need to hold on to this for another couple of minutes just to get it back on par, because at the moment, the deficit they're at is pretty much going to be really in their minds and right at the forefront here, because they're struggling, but they're actually holding on this time. Good bit of team play, good crossfire set up. They need to keep it calm now, lock it out, leave A to them, and just focus on B and C and do exactly what was being done to them.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to slowly get this little bit of a deficit that they have in terms of tickets back in their favor. 39 to 64 here. We see Unfix realizing how many people are already going for B, makes the move, heads toward A, leaving B up, and Winghaven still monitoring C at the same time. Valor gets taken down, though, inside one of these buildings. And Meechmakers, with that cap on a B, with a cap on a C coming in, they might be able to get their 2-cap back. Well, they get a nice shot at Tuesday there to open that one up too.
Going down could be a huge problem because now it's just Winghaven trying to stop the rot. There's a player literally steps away. That nade should push Punch out just a touch. I don't think it did in the end. The nades will now be raining in retort, and C will stay contested. And that's pretty much the last bastion for Fnatic. They've got A, but for how long? And C will fall into the hands of the opposition. They need to get that counter cap underway and pretty damn quickly because they're down to 33 points, and that is a huge amount to work back from, as MYM are going to try and really lock out this C side and then focus back towards B afterwards.
Yeah, S8F actually came from the side, getting some respawns on top of them. They get the kill into Winghaven, so they should be able to open this flag back up. Only one man there, Valu, to stop them, and we've seen him just on Operation Lock in the game prior, how devastating he can be by himself. Does actually get dropped, so they won't be able to maintain C anymore. That will get capped over, but Mort now is already over at B, and Fnatic has seemed to have finally figured out how Michi Makers are playing this and seem to have gotten a feel of how this game's going.
Yeah, and the one thing I always find about MYM, it's never an individual player you come against. It's about 4 of the players just facing you out at once. Whatever angle you peek at, there's always someone watching that cross. S8F proving that to be correct. He's making it hard work. So Winghaven trying to challenge out one. He's being so cautious because there's going to be another player. It's going to be Flax from C. But now the contest is going to be on that B site. S8F is in there. He's going to be capping that one out. And those points are getting very low once again for Fnatic, who need to dig deep here. Maybe negate that B site and focus back on that A and C and do what they're doing before. Because as we've seen time and time again, B is not preferable. Winghaven's, very, very low. Too easy already gone down. Unfix doing the damage, but look at that straight away. They're so comfortable here. They know their setup works. And 21 tickets remaining is extraordinarily low for Fnatic.
And Unfix, he's trying to make something happen. He's trying to work his way in. They're currently down 13 kills in the entirety of this game. It seems like it's a little bit too late. AZV being capped over right now for Michi Makers. This might be a 3 cap as Fnatic sending 4 men there to stop this. We see Ducky Shen go down to the hands of Too Easy. Now Too Easy down very low, 6 HP, but Flax gets picked up by one of Fnatic's teammates. And they will be able to take A back, but 39-8 now is the score. We see B being kept over for Fnatic, so they might be able to stop the rot a little bit more, maybe even things up for a quick second here as S8F goes down. But this still looks like a potential Meteor Makers win.
Yeah, unless they can really lock down these 2 sites, but we know B's not preferable in my eyes to their play, and B's already being contested. Ducky Chan getting in towards A as well. This is going to be real dire times. It's all about getting what they can those last couple of seconds. Winghaven just trying to stay alive, getting those med packs down. Not going to happen for him. The tickets are still falling, and there's no chance he can turn this one. B's now in the hands of MYM. Mort is not there in time to stop this. He's trying everything he can. He does get the kill, but 3 tickets now. They've got to do something magical to stop this one, and I think they've done the damage the best they could. They worked it down as low as they could against the opposition, but there we have it. It will be 29 tickets remaining for MYM. And that's a fairly respectable score considering how one-sided that started out. Fnatic somehow brought it back.
They were able to finally seem to figure out how Michi Makers are working, but it was just a little bit too late. And I wonder, will they be able to carry that into this next half here? Because they have to be able to pull out a better scoreline than that, obviously. And they need to be able to pull out, I don't know, the hold. I'm not sure if it was 4v5 the entire time. I actually don't remember.
It was for quite some time.
Okay, I did not know that. So that is a little bit unfortunate for Fnatic, so I wouldn't be surprised actually we'll take a quick break here just to get that 5th man in, or maybe he's already on his way. We'll find out here in just a second. But Fnatic still played well considering. We saw Too Easy doing a great job rotating. We had Winghaven doing a fantastic job of holding down C and really providing that cover that his team needed. It just didn't seem to be enough. Michi Makers were able to overpower them.
Yeah, but look at Flax. He was a bit of a threat on his own, 21-13. Big scoreline. Waffy as well, hitting a lovely little KDA, 19-9. The rest pulling their weight. They weren't, just going for the kills. They were securing points. You saw S8F on that B side. You saw Punch trying to, lock it down from the lower side of the buildings as well. Excuse me, there was always support there. That was the important factor. It was never a one-on-one. Even if you took down one player, there was an immediate revenge kill. You could never get in that comfortable zone on the B side, and that's what, was so strong with the MYM side. But we're going to see if Fnatic are going to carry on here. I'm very curious to see what's going on there, and hopefully they get things sorted out. I do not want
to ask the admin, but I also don't want to alt-tab.
Yeah. We're going to give it a sec. Let's see if they do carry on. I don't think they will. Surely not. But still, they're going to wait on that final player to jump back in with them and get this one back underway, because Fnatic need it. You can't come up against someone like MYM and expect to win 4-on-5. So hopefully they can sort themselves out and find out what's going on there with their final player. Maybe having a couple of internet problems. Who knows? We haven't had any updates actually. So do bear with us. We'll try and find out here what's going on with them. Because at the end of the day, it's a grand final. We don't want this to be won because of someone missing a player or being at a disadvantage just from the offset. So hopefully he can jump back in. I think it's Unfix who dropped if I'm not mistaken. I think he crashed out, so they'll just be restarting until he comes back. We're just going to see if he's there. Yeah, he has joined us again, so we'll be a 5-on-5, do not fear. We'll be jumping back into game as soon as they are ready. I think they are just getting the countdown underway, so we'll be back into this one, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm not sure if we're even back into the game because I can't see X, but Jason, you had one job.
Jason Kaplan.
Man.
Here we go.
Okay, we were.
Doubting yourself. That's
hashtag production value.
Okay, so right now, let's keep in mind, Fnatic need to not drop below 29 points. Now, considering how close it got towards the end, I think they certainly can, they're not out of this one in any way, shape, or form. That is very much, a possibility for them, but they can't lose out that 2-1 at the start. From the beginning, MYM had the control. They showed dominance on the B side. I'll be very interested to see if Fnatic fancy their chances again, going for that B and maybe the C hold, or going B and A. Maybe going for the A and C is the better choice for these guys, but I'm very interested to see if they go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Chinese spawn on this map is just so difficult because if you look at it, just in terms of across the map, the US side can easily get to A and C at the same time. I mean, obviously the Chinese side has a better grasp at to B, but you don't have a second point to really commit to. If you want to go A, you're going to go into a lot of fire here. If you go into C, you might have one man to fight, but that's a long way to run. But let's see how actually Fnatic takes this one, because they will be on the Chinese side and Makers will be on the US side. Just double checking because I wasn't 100% sure. But it looks like they will go for a 3-2 split here, sending 3 men towards A, 2 towards B. And we see a 2-2-1 come out of Makers. Let's see if Punch can hold on to A, maybe cap over for Makers, and maybe secure them the first map here in this best of 3 of the grand finals of cut number 1.
Yeah, so already B falls into the hand of the Chinese. C was immediately picked up by MYM, but A is the side to be worrying about right now. As we're seeing Punch in the trenches there, just trying to wait it out. He knows there's going to be players coming over this way. Now both sides will be in the hands of Fnatic, so MYM need to start working out where they want to start really chipping away at. Where are they going to focus? I think it's going to be the B side they're heading towards, so Punch needs to start getting his running shoes on. He took more fairly low, but won't win the exchange. Now MYM should respawn by B and start really working this one.
And Fnatic, they've been able to maintain the control of A, and just like I said, Wafi going to be going straight over to B here, but can he hold on to it by himself? He does have a couple men in the buildings, but we see Winghaven coming in from the backside. This would be exactly what they need if they can get that kill, maybe on S8F, to really open up B, but it has been capped over from Makers, so they do maintain that 2-1 cap advantage currently. And let's see if Fnatic can do something about it. Unfixed. It seems like they don't really care about control of the buildings. They just more care about getting those points down than just trying to catch Makers in a bad spot and kill them.
Yeah, I don't know if it's they don't care about it, but they play it very differently. As we saw then, Wafi was the only player for the opposition to really go into that B site. Fnatic seem to always put like 2 or 3 players on the ground, be fairly far down, but MYM play from afar. They use those buildings as cover, and it generally seems to work. There's a bit of an exchange there, but already 2 players present in the building side, looking over that B side, which is being countercapped by Fnatic at the moment. Winghaven trying to be that player to just pester from afar. Ducky-chan, however, is picking up the kills. The Storm's coming in. The points are very close right now, but what side is B going to swing to?
I want to say it's going to be Fnatic, just with the way Winghaven was playing that spot. He was playing it very cautiously. He didn't want to overcommit to a battle, so he'd have his team respawn on top of him, but they get the kill anyways, so they do actually get to get control of that B flag in the hands of Makers. But you see the rest of Fnatic trying to respawn with a push on A. That gets shut down, and now they're trying to go for a 2-man split onto B and maybe over towards A, but they do gain control of these buildings for just a little bit longer. Punch trying to work his way in, does get taken down. But what can Fnatic do off this? Winghaven, he's taking a very wide swing around the map.
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of a bad spawn coming in from Winghaven there, but he does get a good sight towards B, but as I said, not a big fan of their play on it, and they are already being countercapped on C, so this could be a triple cap coming out for MYM.
No quad cap?
No quad cap right now, and this means real trouble. Fnatic, they're the ones with the points that they need to be worried about, and at the moment it's going to be start bleeding so quickly, it's going to be unbearable. And they're going to hit B, which is probably the more, in my eyes, one of the harder sides to really contain, and Mort's on doing damage, everyone else is falling like flies, and this is trouble.
It feels like it's just go for whatever site we're closest to right now. I mean, they respawn towards B, they need to get something back, they realize it, and it seems like their game plan just really isn't working for them so far. I mean, we do see Winghaven already taken out into B, I believe actually is being capped over back in favor of Makers. Yes, it is, but Fnatic able to take onto C here, and Makers already able to defend onto A to be able to take that one back for themselves. But even for how little it was, Fnatic was able to maintain a 2-cap lead, and still have been able to actually so far. And they are starting to get the tickets back in their favor just a little bit. That grenade was...
Winghaven. For a guy who used to be so good with like grenades and airstrikes and generally explosive items like the Panzerfaust, he's slacking on that role.
I really wonder if players at that point, they're like, I really hope they weren't watching me when I did that.
Yeah, and we'll have to ask him about that one. You know, how did that come into effect? But as we can see, Fnatic are down a good couple of tickets at the moment, but they do have at least the flag advantage. But now MYM are on the counter. They are looking towards that C site, and Ducky-chan has got the entrance. So this could be once again trouble, because there's no way they can break back through too easily. Valu is quick to get around here this time. Going to be trying to get that fire down through that fence. Squad will be spawning on him, so he's going to have to get to a bit of a safer position. But still, Punch is just going to be challenging him out. And, well, he's going to win that exchange. Unfix will avenge, and maybe get the revive as well.
And it seemed like a little bit too easy for Makers to actually get in towards C. I mean, you saw Unfix, he was really high up, he was spotted, was taken down by Ducky, and they were able to cap it off the back of it. And looks like Fnatic, with that 2-man squad, they're able to capture C yet again here. But Makers able to get control of A. But Winghaven still playing that kind of back photo role, kind of like a sentry, allowed his team to respawn back on towards B to defend against it and keep that 2-cap for themselves. They're only down about 20 points right now, and they easily can take this one back. Remember, if they drop below, I believe it is 29 points, then they will have lost this first map and will be going to Operation Logger for map number 2.
Well, we'll find out how this pans out. Right now, MYM doing what they do best, staying in those buildings, trying to lay down the fire from above, but they are going to start focusing towards that B site now. The call has been made. Punch dropping out the early nades there, knowing he's going to be pushed. He does pick up Valu. Too easy, however, has already replied. So a bit of an even exchange, and we are seeing the push starting to begin. But Punch, can he find any more? Can he find the opposing team? He knows there's a player just opposite, not being able to land the shots. More will make it count, but B is now being contested. That's Flax in there, and we saw this man doing absolutely devastating work against Fnatic. Nades raining in, they're landing as well. That man's basically Kobe Bryant at this moment. But you know, it's getting very close here. Fnatic are coming out, they're not playing safe, they're playing aggressive, they're trying to make this one count. It's an even cap exchange alone. A has gone to the US side, C being left, but now being picked up. This can swing either way.
And Fnatic, at least in the hands of Unfix, trying to go for a move on towards A, and with the team respawn on top of them, they should be able to capture that one. But B, it still is kind of neutral right now. No one's been able to cap it. Waffy gets the kill onto, I don't know who exactly it was from Fnatic, but either way, they get the kill onto it, which should secure them B. And now they will have that 2-man, or that 2-point hold, and they have a great control of where Fnatic is spawning currently too, so if they can pick up these kills, they can drain a lot of tickets off of Fnatic.
Yeah, they definitely can, and we've seen how potent they can be in these positions, and well, Ducky's in a great one of those. He's going to find one on the way around, gets the assist, but can he follow it up? There's Winghaven, challenge him out flat and in the face. So C being contested at the moment, but MYM, they're spread throughout this map. They're not just focusing on one area, they're trying to get a presence all over the place, and we are seeing those tickets starting to get a little bit dangerous for Fnatic.
And Valu, with that little bit of a spawn he had towards A, actually gonna go straight for C, so they get the control now. But we still have a nice line of Makers pushing in, but Punch gets taken down there. And that is actually really unfortunate, because that would have been great if they could pitch a couple of kills. But with the 3-man squad over towards C, they should be able to lock this one down. They will get the kill on Valu, they will get the revive, and they will have C locked down. But again, at what cost? B is now being taken by Winghaven, and he will have the ability to get that team spawn on top of him to really back this thing up, to really secure it. But I would imagine that Makers are going to go towards A.
Yeah, Mort going down there early was a real problem, and I think they're going to swing the attention, go for a bit of the split between A and B, because we know Flax can handle himself on this side, but will he be able to take down Winghaven? Winghaven already taking down one of his teammates, and Too Easy doing the same. Oh, beautiful play from Wing this time, playing that defensive role very well, keeping B just about in their hands for now, and there we have it, a 2-1 hold in favor to Fnatic at this moment, and that should at least even up the score, you know, for a little while, maybe get in their favor, because they've got more to be worried about here. If they drop below 29, they are going to be going in with a disadvantage to the second map, which can really weigh heavily on their mind.
And yeah, especially when you go onto a map that Fnatic chose.
Yeah.
It can be very, very dangerous right now. But Valu's pushing up outside of B. They do have that control of A and B, and they're trying to go for, looks like a spawn lock a little bit here. You see backside Mort just sitting very far away from C, just trying to see anyone pushing out from it. Unfixed, looking for a kill or two onto Makers, and really start to get the tickets in their favor. This is the first time they actually had the lead, I believe, this entire game so far. But right now, Makers played it very slow, very, very methodically, it seems. They actually haven't gone for a push anywhere. They're waiting for those respawns to come in and then push as a team.
That's how they should have been playing from the start here. They need to work out those spawns, lock them straight down off of it, and they need to keep getting those spots out. Unfixed does finally get that glimpse towards the player by the edge of C, does claim the kill onto Ducky, so that's absolutely ideal. C is now not such an easy option. They put him to the side of the map that has absolutely no flags on, and that is a beautiful, beautiful bit of play. More, been a bit aggressive, but they now need to be able to focus on which sides they really want to hold, because those points are getting low for the US side of MYM. and this could go either way at this moment.
Yeah, we are within 10 points right now of Fnatic pulling out the victory here on this map, and Makers, they do something about it. With this track coming with Mort making a smart move, they realize, you know what, we could probably just drain them of the points that we need right now. We can pull this one off, and they have 2 tickets left before this is over.
This is brilliant play from Fnatic. They are making it work. And I do believe it was Fnatic if they drop below 29 points. Not MIM.
I think you might be right, yeah. I messed that one up.
But the one thing I want to point out is they're still, you know, being a little bit lackadaisical. They finally lost the players here, so they can't have that triple cap, and they might just lose 2 instead of being able to focus on the 2 they had. Maybe getting a little bit overzealous with what they had and going for that C cap as well. So they need to make this one work at this present moment. And there we go. Flax does go down. Winghaven finally getting onto form here. Does get taken out, but still, Unfix is very close. They need to get their hand on these points because they're the ones, if they drop below 29, they'll be going in with that disadvantage and, you know, have to bring it back on that second map. So still, C over this side they're focusing on. They've already got A in the, B in the bag, but have they overcompensated here? Have they still got those players present in the apartments? I believe so. So they should be able to work this one out if these guys can rack up the kills, which they're not doing. Winghaven's gone down. He was so on point before, but B's could be an instrumental site, and it's all about more getting those kills in because Flax and Co are ready to rumble. Flax coming in big, takes down Value, gonna get that revive as well, and this spells real trouble for Fnatic because this should be a good convert here. A and B in the hands of MYM. We know they're strong here, and this is going to be a big ticket, you know, drain going against Fnatic.
Yeah, 50 to 13, just 13 more tickets stopping them from pulling off a victory here in this first map. You see Makers are just falling by the wayside here over at B. Winghaven coming in and Punch trying to make something happen. He picks up a kill though, but he's just nowhere in the vicinity to really help this out. If B does get capped over, it's going to be very strong. 10 points remaining. This could be Fnatic pulling out a victory in map number 1.
Yeah, I believe so, because they might be going for that counter cap on A, leaving MYM to B, going, all right, guys, you get that, but we know Value, aka Reload, is doing the work that we need to be done, and now the points just need to keep ticking down against the US side, which will be MYM. Beautifully played from Fnatic, finally working out their strengths here. 5 points remaining. Can they do this? They just got to go for that last little stretch. Flax and Co trying to do the damage on the B, but already Mort getting involved. Nades spammed out. It's a 2-to-1 hold currently in favor to MYM, but can they keep this? More on the case, I don't think so. He's going to do a lovely little work there, just working out exactly where Flax was. 3 points now remaining. C is being contested heavily. He's just got to play this one smartly. B now being moved into as well. This could go either way, but Fnatic are capping on both sides. Too easy in on B. We know the C was in the hands of the opposition, but right now this should be the end of this one pretty much. As long as they get that B side, MYM know this as well. The last call being made saying, guys, get over here if you can, but I think that was the nail in the coffin. That B side going over to Fnatic. They will be walking away with the first map, but my god, did it get close. 29 points was all that needed to happen, but still, they held on long enough, and they will be going into their favorite map in just a moment.
And let's look at the KDAs for that one. That was a really intense match because if you saw 33 points, if they lost out on 5 more, they would have lost that first map. Value 21 and 10 coming up big for his team. On Fix 13-5, Winghaven 12 and 8, 13-13 with 2 easy, Mort 10 and 9. Over on the other side, Flax, who's been able to hold on to B pretty much by himself. 12 and 10, 10-11 for Punch. S8F, who didn't really perform too well this game. 11-11. I mean, he's pretty much tied with 2 easy in terms of the KDA, and they were both played like the kind of similar role. But Wafi 10 and 13, and Ducky Chan 9 and 16. But to be able to pull that one back, it's no easy feat. It really isn't.
No, and the adaptation that had to come out for Fnatic then was huge. They had to change up their game style. What they were playing with before simply wasn't working. I think we all noticed that. And on the second half, they changed. Value just became a beast once again when it's needed. He's unbelievable when he gets, you know, into things like that. He can really start building those leads up, getting those kills in the bag, using that central area, you know, within the buildings to start getting those crossfires building, actually working on the B site rather than just losing it out constantly. And if they can do the same on Operation Locker, or at least pull off what they normally do on Operation Locker, they should be safe. But then again, you know, the one thing I've always noticed in big games is if you're very good at something, teams will always counter that straight away. They'll go, okay, what are their strengths? How can we work around that? Operation Locker is a big strength for Fnatic. And if MYM don't know that already, I'll be very surprised. So I can imagine they will know it, and there'll be a bit of a counter coming out here.
Let me ask you something on the map we just saw in Storm. It seemed, in my opinion, a little sloppy from both teams. It didn't really seem really clear-cut in either direction. It was just it was a lot of just capping over and over and over, picking up kills. It didn't seem like Makers who chose that map really had the plan work out for them.
I think it's a lot harder to be so dominant when you're against someone so good. You know, as soon as you get that 2-1 hold, there'll be an answer straight away. There'll be, you know, immediately a counter cap. So let's say, you know, your team picked up C finally when you had B. You're going to know the team's already going to try and hit up the other side that you've not, you know, taken into account. So it's never going to be that real strong 2-1 hold. But it's all about who can do it the most and if you can retain it for that time. So, you know, we saw there, I believe, that NYM had a very strong B hold when they got into the positions, but then it changed. You know, as soon as Fnatic worked that out,